Welcome back to another video, ladies and gentlemen. We're checking out another video by none other than Jobbers and Goons. I actually enjoy his videos, and yeah, this is the Wendigo versus the Skinwalker. So funny enough, in my reality, the Wendigo has been popping up a lot. Don't know if one is coming for me. We'll see if I'm still making videos soon. And the Skinwalker, which I hear about Skinwalkers, but don't really understand what they are. It's crazy because I'm Native American, and I think these have to do with them, or I'm one of those tribes, but I have no idea what really, I'm getting into. So let's hear it. But yeah, so
wanted to do an interesting matchup versus similar characters in horror, whether mythology, folklore, or fiction, right? And
they're pretty similar.
One that came to mind to me that I really enjoyed looking into was the Windigo versus the Skinwalker. So if you like battles like this where
that is a Wendigo, I never knew that weird creepy thing unless he just put a clip of it. So much as I know about the Wendigo, there's a couple things, but also heard about the Skinwalker, and I actually have some personal stories that I've told on stream before, which I really wish you were there for those streams if you're watching, because I told stories of where I think we literally had Wendigo encounters, but basically my knowledge slowly dwindles about them. But pretty much what I know is it's a certain thing with cannibalism, something like that, or the desires of whatever the person were, or is it dead emotions that manifest after the person has a tragic death? I don't know if the death even has to be tragic. It's some things I even remember like Until Dawn did it in a way where well, I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but certain areas cause Wendigos. I don't know. There's even things in my town of different Wendigo things going on. So I don't know, but I just know that one of the things is they mimic noises of certain things. They can mimic speech. They can mimic anything really. For some reason, from what I'm coming to think, is they're super silent. I don't know. They're super strong, obviously, with what supernatural being there mostly, but and then certain things I don't know if they're a real stalking creature. Can't really tell. And I always feel with mythologies and certain things that if you ever encounter these legends or things like this, that the story will always change for who encounters it. But yeah, with that, let's just go.
Horror matchups take place. Smash the like button. 400 likes and the next horror battle like this one will drop. I also have
never creepy to me.
Hellraiser video coming because that hit the like goal as well. So stay on the lookout for that as we round out the end of October with nothing but horror themed content. But anyways, what makes this battle so interesting? Well, both are stories that have plagued the Americas for centuries. Both have been used to strike fear in the hearts of tribes throughout the Americas, as both creatures kind of symbolize great evil and what craziness can do to you. So if these two evil spirit type beings and animal related monsters were to clash, who would win? Let's find out. First, let's go over the Wendigo. Now, the Wendigo is probably the more famous of the two.
Yeah.
A lot of people on this channel probably know the name from the character in Marvel Comics, but what actually is the Wendigo? Well, the Windigo was actually used, fun fact, for a time as a psychological diagnosis, which is Wendigo psychosis. This was when people isolated, typically in snow regions,
typically snow regions,
fearing cannibalism and craving
there it is.
consuming humans.
Yeah.
And this was apparently a real thing, prevalent 1800s, 1900s, and it plagued the northern parts of the Americas, Canada, and North America region. And when this occurred, typically what was seen with the Wendigos and is attributed to the actual supernatural case, not the psychosis, was massive animal-like spirit beings. Sometimes, and some tribes portrayed them as almost ice-like beings, although several tribes do attribute an ice-cold heart to them. Typically, to me, this is just associated with their dark, evil nature, and they walk around consuming humans and plaguing them throughout the forest. Accounts of their size do vary, although I have not seen any accounts that put them at anything less than twice the size of humans.
Yeah.
And typically they're the size of trees. Wendigos are vicious in nature, born out of the evil in the hearts and the selfish nature of mankind. And the Wendigo tale was typically used to derail any thoughts within the tribe of selfishness and, being a thief and being evil in times of struggle in the tribe. It would instead encourage them to band together, because if they messed around and became evil, they could risk becoming the Wendigo, the next Wendigo, and haunting their own people. In terms of what they bring to the table as potential combatants, obviously their massive size and physical prowess. They are sometimes attributed with weather manipulation and can bring even snow and blizzards, so that could greatly affect the battlefield. They are attributed as fantastic hunters and are well suited for their environment and know everything about their environment, which allows them to be very technically gifted hunters and strategists in places like the forest. And when it comes to weaknesses, sure, they can be taken down by regular means. It would be just obviously hardcore physical combat to take them down. Also, magical means can do so, as shamans are credited with defeating them in the past. And their weakness is if they don't feed, apparently they will die. Overall, Windigo are some of the most popular American horror lore creatures for good reason.
Yeah.
They bring a lot to the battlefield in terms of their physical prowess, hunting abilities, and weather manip, and are one of the most interesting folklore creatures to read about in horror. Moving on, who is facing them? We are putting them against another being that has terrified tribes throughout the Americas. And this, of course, is the legendary Skinwalker. What's a Skinwalker?
I barely
So there's
know
actually
about
two
these.
branches of Skinwalkers that I found in my research, and we're going to ignore one of them, and I'll explain why. One of them, and it's kind of obscure, is kind of like where Skinwalkers are viewed as actually fallen angels and workers of the divine that were kind of left out of heaven and stay among the physical world now. Weird lore like that, I'm not using that because the other stuff is more what I grew up with and what I associate Skinwalkers with. Now, the Skinwalkers I'll be talking about, of course, are typically associated with former witches or users of dark magic, and they turn to methodology of dark magic that allows them to actually become one with beasts or creatures. Typically associated with their transformation would be stuff like foxes, bears, wolves, or coyotes. But all this gives them an animal-like power and gifts, makes them incredibly hard to kill. And due to their sinister nature, as they typically are, characters like shaman that used magic for evil and thus fell into the grips of evil, they go around doing hood rat shit. They go around.
That's bad too, because sometimes that gives bad connotation onto what shamans are, because shamans aren't. And first of all, I feel like that's a real twisted thing of history to paint shamans as evil. There's a lot of shamans alive now that I know. So, yeah. But I could understand the transformation being associated with a heavily animalistic influence because you're turning into the animal. I see how they're closely related to werewolves also.
Causing plagues, sickness, death, and terrifying and haunting the tribes. The legends of the Skinwalkers got so bad that it became almost stuff people didn't even want to talk about, because they're like, yo, they might hear us talking about them, show up, and mess our lives up. Damn. That's how crazy the legend of the Skinwalker story is. In terms of what they bring to the table as combatants, obviously they are dark magic users. They have some weather manip, but to me not as consistent or as crazy as Windigo. They can manipulate the senses, induce fear heavily. They are credited with inducing poison and disease and sometimes even death through magic. And some of the only ways really attributed with killing them fully is to use weapons completely covered in white ash, although that's never been confirmed to be an automatic kill. Overall, they are one of the scariest creatures in American lore, just like the Wendigo, and they do have some similar characteristics to the Wendigo that makes the battle interesting. For example, both of them are kind of attributed with the fall of man in terms of becoming too close to evil and too selfish. Now, if these two legendary monsters of history were to clash in a battle for the champion of the American horror scene, who would win? Well, it's an interesting battle, right? Wendigos are bigger physically, probably a little stronger. Should be. I mean, some of them are even credited with being bigger than trees. And they have really cool weather manip, which is cute and all. But to me, Skinwalkers are on another level.
Okay,
First of all,
yeah.
Wendigos are more so attributed with actually being able to take them down, and they can even just starve to death. Whereas Skinwalkers really only known means to actually hurt them would come through white ash weaponry.
Yeah.
They also have poison and plague manip, which might hurt the Wendigo. They are known to possess and manipulate spirits. So while the Wendigo can do so as well, it kind of doesn't do it on accident. Like, people become the Wendigo more so than Wendigo just forcing itself on people, where we know Skinwalkers typically are associated with soul manip, possession, all that.
But that makes sense.
It could be
Shaman
theorized stuff. They could mess with the spirit of the Wendigo itself and even trap it or remove it. But not entirely sure that would be the case. But I am confident they are more durable and can withstand anything the Wendigo throws at it. And I think their dark magic hacks, like poison, plague, and death, would bring down the mighty Wendigo eventually. I believe the dark magic users,
they literally definitely sound like they have hacks from the shamanistic side of what they can do. Yeah.
The legendary Skinwalkers would win this battle. Anyways, guys, let me know who you think would win. Do you think the Wendigo would win? Do you think the Skinwalkers would win? Let me know in the comment section down below. And please let me know what horror battles you want to see to finish out the month of October. But
anyways, okay, there's that. I'm gonna you scale shit that I don't see a lot of people see. Skinwalker is basically inspiration for courage, the cowardly dog. Legend versus Skinwalker, both similar characters. Skinwalker wins. Just wanted to see more people say it, but honestly, everyone was just enjoying the video, which is cool. I personally think, the Skinwalker would win, like, hands down. Listen to the hacks. It doesn't even, like, when you get deeper into their lore, it doesn't even sound like they're similar creatures anymore. Like from the two pictures right here, the Wendigo on the left, and I'm assuming the Skinwalker on the right. Or actually, the Skinwalker looks more like the one on the left, because in a lot of these depictions, it's this picture right here. They're, like, shown as still having shamanistic type look, like to their human form, where Wendigos look just completely transformed. So and also the Jersey Devil, like if someone like knows what I'm calling back to, but the Telltale series, The Wolf Among Us, when spoilers, when he fights the Jersey Devil in the Jersey shop, I'm pretty sure, is the Jersey Devil the Wendigo, or is he something else? Let me look. The Wolf Among Us, Jersey Devil. He's a fable. He's a fable, but what is he? He's a cryptid that has the ability to switch freely between his human and fable form. What is the Jersey Devil fable? Okay, I'm not getting much. I could probably like do research, but when you look at him in the game, I'll just show you what he looks like if you guys don't care to be spoiled. Like, boom, this is him. He really has that look. And shout out to a ecumenist perfectionist. What? Ecumenist. But yeah, I don't know a lot about him, but it's funny, Garden State Goon, and then them watching Jobbers and Goons, but he takes the look of them, and this is what the Wendigo. So I'm assuming this one on the right is the Wendigo, but I'm not too entirely sure. But yeah, it seems like the Skinwalker has it there. They just have Hack's abilities. I don't even know how you play up the Wendigo's ability to manipulate weather against them, because they're both kind of forest based. They're really close. They're not all the way similar. They're very close. But yeah, pretty cool. Nice video. I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. I like seeing these matchups. They inspire me to do like my own matchups on the channel, but I just do completely different content. Like, I get videos recommended and watch them, or do commentary and just other stuff, but I'd really want to do stuff like this. Okay, I have other videos to get to, so much love and light and moonlight. Shout out to Jobbers and Goons again. If you want to take down my video, I don't mind, and I'm out of here. Peace.